Up next, a match that certainly got my attention when I saw it on the schedule. A singles matchup involving Big Bob Duncum of the Unholy Trinity, backed by Dutch Mantell and Primetime Bobby Mills, as he sets the lock-up one-on-one against Gene Snitsky of the MJ Ferrantino stable.
So, our MJF snagged American Powers. It was almost unexpected. Hey, Myron.
Yeah?
I heard you were around when Sylvia Strong saw Ferrantino come out with AP at Snarl, so? What was her reaction? I've been dying to know.
It's actually kind of anticlimactic, Christy. She's actually a good sport. I mean, yeah, she stamped her foot and she said, "Oh, darn," and then shrugged her shoulders and then went on about her business.
Everybody just swore up and down that Patty Powers and Liberty Belle Danielle were gonna wind up with the stronghold. Like we say around here, never say never, huh?
This next match is scheduled for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Coming down the aisle, along with Primetime Bobby Mills and Dirty Dutch Mantell from Austin, Texas, weighing 306 pounds, here is Big Bob Duncum.
Seems like the Unholy Trinity has been trying real hard to make full-on nuisances of themselves, in addition to starting to win more matches. Duncum and Primetime Bobby Mills have been getting themselves some pretty good matches, and, more importantly, they've started winning a bit more than they did last year. Will it lead to a title shot for either or both of them? That, we're gonna have to wait and see about, but the Unholy Trinity has been making some more progress towards the goal.
Well, I'm real interested to see what happens, because this is going to be Bobby Duncum's first dust-up with Gene Snitsky, and I love first-time encounters. The Unholy Trinity, under the guidance of Dirty Dutch Mantell, certainly has been very prevalent in the year 2025 here in RWL. Oh, you gotta look at Duncum. He's worked himself into a mood, hasn't he? It's going to take a lot more than a little bit of bravado for Big Bob Duncum to pick up a win over Gene Snitsky.
Along with MJ Ferrantino from Nesquehoning, Pennsylvania, weighing 305 pounds, Gene Snitsky.
This is set to be Snitsky's first single match too. Every other time we've seen him, he's been partnered with Lars Sullivan, another recent Ferrantino acquisition. He's got this reputation as a whiz kid, not bad for a guy just past his 30th birthday, and, while he does get some financial help from Tex Lynch, he's made all his most recent deals on his own initiative and with his own resources. And man, this man's built himself one hell of a stable, with so many big men like Snitsky. They're calling the Ferrantino stable the land of the giants. While he's still building his private empire, he just might present a real challenge to Sylvia Strong for RWL's 2025 Manager of the Year.
This much is certain: MJ Ferrantino, now controlling the largest stable in all of RWL, including Gene Snitsky. Charles Lucero rings the bell. Big Bob Duncum with Snitsky over the shoulder. Flapjack face first into the canvas. Duncum rounds him up. Gene Snitsky countering the suplex with a shot to the midsection and a jumping neckbreaker to Duncum. And now following it up with a brutal series of stomps, a kick to the back. Gene Snitsky gathers him up from behind. Look at this. Slams him face first into the canvas with an inverted DDT sort of thing. And now a blatant choke. Gene Snitsky not going to make apologies for anything he does, as Primetime Bobby Mills decides to get himself involved in the situation. Duncum takes advantage with a suplex on Snitsky. Misses with the kick, counters with a right. Gene Snitsky whipped to the ropes. Duncum with an elbow takes him down, follows it up with a kick to the back. Rounds up Gene Snitsky again. They lock up, they tussle. Snitsky shoves him back, a clothesline, forces Duncum into the corner. Big Bob Duncum shoves his way free, a jumping neckbreaker in retaliation to Gene Snitsky. Snitsky with an elbow to the midsection of Duncum and a clothesline that deposits Big Bob Duncum on the outside. MJ Ferrantino watching the whole thing carefully. Gene Snitsky gathering up Big Bob Duncum. Duncum counters with a kick to the midsection and a clothesline that takes Snitsky down as referee Charles Lucera continues to count. A hard right, a counter kick from Snitsky. Snitsky, with Duncum up over the shoulder, slams him down. Dirty Dutch Mantell. Looks like he might intrude here. Hopefully not. Snitsky walking right past Dirty Dutch Mantell as Duncum delivers a series of elbows to Gene Snitsky. Snitsky counters with a hard left. Duncum counters. Snitsky counters. Makes his way back inside the ring. Look at this. Primetime Bobby Mills introducing a chair here, but the referee getting rid of it. Belly-to-belly suplex from Big Bob Duncum. Snitsky back up on his feet, taken down with a clothesline. Followed up with a subsequent clothesline, a rebound off the ropes, and a kick. That slows Snitsky down, but doesn't take him down completely. But this DDT from Big Bob Duncum certainly does. Big Bob Duncum stalking Gene Snitsky here. Has him up over the shoulders in the fireman's carry. Michinoku driver from Big Bob Duncum with a cover and a hook of the leg, but not even a one. Gene Snitsky powering out almost immediately. Slams Duncum's face into the canvas again. Gene Snitsky looks like he's firmly in control at the present time. Big elbow. Followed up with a second. Swing and a miss from Duncum. A rebound off the ropes and a spinebuster from Gene Snitsky. Whoa! Look at this. Duncum winds up in the far corner. Snitsky misses with that attack. Snitsky catches a shot from Duncum. Duncum turns him around, has him up. Snitsky slips out the back door, counters into a DDT. Big Bob Duncum gathered up to his feet again by Gene Snitsky. Snitsky whips him to the far corner. Snitsky with a series of machine gun rights and an uppercut that sinks Big Bob Duncum into the corner, followed up with a knee. Big Bob Duncum collapsing out of the corner. Gene Snitsky covers and hooks the leg. 1, 2, and only 2. Big Bob Duncum with the wherewithal to find his way out of that pinning predicament. Gene Snitsky debating his next move as Big Bob Duncum stands himself up. Snitsky moves in, is quickly whipped to the corner by Duncum, escapes the corner. Duncum with an elbow, a second one takes Snitsky down to the canvas. Gene Snitsky out on the apron, making his way to a standing position using the ropes. Counters Snitsky with a right, makes his way back inside. Duncum with a counter shot to the midsection. A kick. He's got him up. Gene Snitsky with a knee to the face, escapes the backbreaker. Duncum with another kick to the midsection. Big Bob Duncum escorts Gene Snitsky to the corner, head first into the turnbuckle, and a series of turnbuckle shots from Big Bob Duncum on Gene Snitsky. Down goes Snitsky, center ring. Duncum misses with a stomp. Gene Snitsky whips him into the corner. Snitsky sets him up on that top turnbuckle. There's a hard right hand, and this does not look good for Big Bob Duncum, who's about to take a top rope superplex 10 feet up and 10 feet down. For Big Bob Duncum. Gene Snitsky back to a standing position first. Duncum counters with a back body drop as again the referee starts his count. Snitsky counters with a hard left, rolls himself back inside the ring. Here comes Big Bob Duncum. Duncum counters with a shot. Snitsky counters with a shot of his own. Duncum whips Snitsky to the corner. A clothesline takes Snitsky down center ring. Big Bob Duncum undoing the turnbuckle right in front of the referee. Snitsky rounded up again. Duncum, no doubt intending to whip him into that turnbuckle, slams him down. A leg drop on the arm of Gene Snitsky. Snitsky rounded up again, swing and a miss with the clothesline from Duncum. Snitsky with a chop. Duncum with a chop. A hard clothesline takes Snitsky down to the canvas. Big Bob Duncum already busted open and bleeding from this encounter with Gene Snitsky. Snitsky rounded up again. Another DDT from Big Bob Duncum. MJ Ferrantino has to be slightly concerned at this point, as Big Bob Duncum drags Snitsky center ring, rolls him over, covers and hooks the leg here. The referee, look at this, hoisted on your own petard, Duncum. The referee having to fix the turnbuckle. You could count to 20. Snitsky rounded back up again. Oh my, there's a low shot the referee did not catch. As Duncum goes for the cover again. 1, 2, 3, and that was absolutely inappropriate.
Here's the time, 7 minutes and 9 seconds, and your winner, Big Bob Duncum.
That yellow sundish took the pump way out. He figured out he wasn't going to be able to whip Gene Snitsky on his own terms, so naturally, that's where we started seeing outside interference from Dutch and Primetime, and Duncum yanking the turnbuckle loose, and, obviously, that low blow to Snitsky. Looks like that was going to be the only way Duncum was going to be able to get the win. He obviously wasn't going to win this one cleanly.
I guess not. But he sure slipped that low blow in under the referee's nose. It was almost elegant, the way Bob Duncum did indeed slip that low blow onto Gene Snitsky directly under the nose of referee Charles Lucero. And well, I guess Big Bob Duncum, being a seasoned veteran in that ring, he knows exactly how to get around a referee if he has to. And so, fans, there you have it. Big Bob Duncum gets the Duke over Gene Snitsky. MJ Ferrantino checking on an injured Gene Snitsky. And look out! Duncum with a chair struck him right across the back. Primetime Bobby Mills getting into the act too, attacking both Snitsky and Ferrantino with steel chairs. This is absolutely insane. We'll be right back with more RWO Rage right after this, ladies and gentlemen.